gold rate. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it comes down. So on what basis do you promise me 10% per month, not even per annum, every month? So it means that if I deposit 100,000 cedis with MenzGold, in a matter of 10 months, my interest alone is the 100,000. And every other money I'll be getting, and my capital will be there. I mean, what is he going to do with my money that he will be able to pay me over 140% in 1 year? 120% in 1 year? I mean, clearly, you should be reasonable to know that this thing is just a matter of time.
Okay.
It is not sustainable. It is another way, another Ponzi scheme. And we as Ghanaians must learn our lessons. We should stop the greed and learn to grow our monies gradually and realistically. If you say it is the only option available for you, then be ready for the consequences, because those who go in early will benefit. But as the scheme runs, over time and more people run into it, it becomes unsustainable. Eventually, it's a disaster waiting to happen.
Okay.
And it's only with MenzGold. So many other schemes. We should tell Ghanaians to stop from this greed.
Okay. Well, I think others will say desperation, not necessarily greed.
It's not desperation, it's greed.
Honorable,
there are other opportunities.
When I hear the MenzGold story and customers being frustrated, and if worst case scenario, if monies are lost, we are going to pay the price. It's similar to somebody bringing in a food product to Ghana, and we all know it may not be good for the Ghanaian. I will expect FDA to ensure that that product does not get on the market. And if it gets into the market within a couple of weeks or months, it's off the market. Not let it stay on the market and then issue warnings that don't engage them. Why are they even there? Why did they stay for this long, to a point where we are now going to have to pay? Customers are crying. The average Ghanaian is going to have to pay, aside all this over 12 million Ghana cedis that we're already spending on the banks. Now MenzGold is going to be another burden on us.
I think that there is definitely something wrong with our financial system. And it's playing out every day. And we need to tackle the root cause of it. You know, the MenzGold issue, from what John has just said, shows that it is not what we are all thinking. That is a temporary closure. Very soon they'll be back on their way, on their job. It's just a simple thing, because instead of just doing ABCD, which they have registered to do, they have added EFGH. And because of that, we close them down, make sure we kept them from here and allow them to strictly go by what they are supposed to do. But now it does appear that their whole operation was fraudulent. And from what I'm hearing, and it appears because he says that they were rather not taking gold but money, and they are taking interest, which is more than what is expected for any serious financial institution, and that is creating an imbalance in the system. The president last week said that it is unfair to close down MenzGold, and now it does appear also that that statement is out of place, because it looks like the regulators are determined to do the right thing, or they are determined to keep it closed down and even surcharge them, because if it is just equated to God is love and DKM and all those kinds of things, it means you cannot have different sticks to beat people differently for the same crime committed.
Well, anyway, some analysts would say that the activities amount to, you see, initially they were saying that, or there were reports that they are not under any specific regulation. They are not regulated by anybody. These were claims by some of their representatives, but some analysts would put the activities as one, engaging in illegal deposit taking, contrary to Section 6 of the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions Act 930, and also 2, engaging in, I want to show that it falls under various institutions, maybe not directly under one institution. It's just engaging in, so the first one, of course, will be under the Bank of Ghana, engaging in unlicensed mineral activity, contrary to Section 99(1) of the Minerals and Mining Act. And also 3, engaging in illegal markets activity in breach of Section 109 of the Securities Industry Act. And the 4th one, so the second one will be under the mining, and the third one will be under the SEC, and the 4th one is a private company inviting the public to deposit money or invest in its business in breach of Section 265 of the Companies Act. So this would also fall directly under this. So all these institutions have some form of, or may have complained about this, but rightly so. What Jifa was talking about, why did they have to take this long for it to get to this point? Why is it that we entrust our security or our regulators to protect the ordinary citizen? Because we expect that once it falls under some form of institution or another, we should be able to trust that institution or we should be able to trust this company to deal with them. Now, for so long, MenzGold operated. They started from Men's Bank several years ago. In 2014, Bank of Ghana complained about Men's Bank. They metamorphosed into what we have right now. So, us getting to this point is actually not. And you made a statement while you were talking. You made a statement that government of Ghana is not going to step in when it comes to MenzGold. Whether that statement you made is because MenzGold is a private company or not, we don't know. Because the banks that has collapsed and government of Ghana has indeed stepped in with about 8 billion or so Ghana cedis. So
now there are two different things. Separate the operations of banking system regulations from financial institutions like MenzGold and DKM and the rest. Under the Banking Act, Bank of Ghana can at any point intervene to even loan funds to the banks to operate. And so government can intervene at various levels within the banking regulatory framework. But these schemes and microfinance companies and MenzGold and all those ones do not qualify under those arrangements. So if you go and deposit there, government has no obligations to help. Maybe what government can do is what they are doing, making sure the regulatory bodies function effectively to protect your investment there. And so that later on, and we are saying it's too late. In fact, if you observe the MenzGold even posture to regulatory bodies like Bank of Ghana and the SEC, it appears they think they are untouchable. Watch their initial responses to all the directives that came. First from Bank of Ghana, they told them they don't operate under Bank of Ghana. When you operate a financial system within the country and per our laws, you have the audacity to tell Bank of Ghana that you don't operate under that.
They actually said that it was a joke what they were doing.
That's what they said.
But that's ego talk.
Yeah, well, but that is the kind of audacity they have. And in spite of the warnings, you even have Ghanaians speaking against the regulators and the Bank of Ghana and SEC.
And standing with them.
And standing with MenzGold. And eventually, these same people will then say that, why didn't you act? You are the government, you're supposed to protect us. How else can government protect you? There has been warnings upon warnings. And even under the NDC government, I remember FIC and Bank of Ghana issuing notices to people. Don't deal with MenzGold, don't deposit money there as investment. They don't have the mandate to do that. And yet people went there because there was huge benefits to make from there. But if you care less and you want to take the huge risk, don't put it on government, because eventually you may have to lose your money, as people have lost monies in DKM among the rest. It's the same thing that if you don't want to stand with government and the regulators and you want to stand with MenzGold, go ahead, but know that you are alone. And if you benefit, up to you. If you go and you lose your investment, government cannot be asked to pay like the banks. The banks are a different set of operational tools altogether.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I want us to move on to our next story. 6 cases sent to Amidu. I'm reading from page 3 of the Daily Guide this morning. So the cases have been sent to Amidu over massive fraudulent deals. That's how the paper reports it. It says reports reaching Daily Guide indicate that Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu is busily working on some cases involving fraudulent deals in 6 state-owned agencies which have been referred to him. Now, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is looking into some of these companies. The Ghana National Gas Company, Microfinance and Small Loan Center, that's Maslok, Ghana Free Zones Board, BOST, and Ghana Standards Authority, as well as Ghana Technology University College. So this in respect of some procurement breaches amongst others, and further reports indicate that the amount allegedly mismanaged amounts to some $800 million. So maybe we should start with Honorable on this particular one.
Well, we'll see what in the end, what we will see.
Some papers have actually been bold enough to name names in respect of same. Iwada Akun has been mentioned, Kojo Shumbuafo has been mentioned, Sedinam Tamaklo has also been mentioned amongst others. So these are some
for procurement breaches.
Yes,
yeah,
mainly procurement breaches.
Yeah, I think when they finish that,
also
they should continue with the numerous uncountable procurement breaches within the last 2 years we are experiencing now. You know, they shouldn't just behave like they are doing politics with our fortunes. They should ensure that they do procurement breaches at BOST. They do it at Ministry of Agriculture. They do it at Trade. They do it at Education, and the many other places that we are seeing now.
So correction, the report used procurement irregularities. Let me not jump to a breach here.
Whatever it is, there are so many of them happening even now. They should make sure they do it. You know, one of the things that we notice about the MPP is that anytime they are boxed to a corner, then they will go and bring something, whether it is true or not, whether because they are the ones who speak. You can't speak as an individual and then you'll be heard the way they are heard. Then they bring something and hang on somebody. By the time you relieve yourself of the lie, people have made up their minds. So let's make sure they should continue. When they finish, they continue with all the breaches or the irregularities that are being observed and pointed out to them now. So we know that they are tackling the thing holistically and that they are doing it because they love Ghana, patriotically, not because they love MPP and want to make sure MPP is giving a good face and NDC is giving a bad face, and etc., etc. And I know that in the end, these things that they are talking about will come to nothing. Because the things that sometimes they point out to the public and say they are corrupt and they are this, they are that. When you investigate, they themselves, when they investigate, finally, they come to the point that they can't move any further. Meanwhile, it is left hanging and nobody knows what is happening. Yeah, so I think that we support what they are doing. They should make sure the MPP breaches are brought alongside what they are doing. We know that what they are saying, they are chumbafo, this, that person. These are all things to quieten them because these are vocal people who speak. And they just want you to stop talking by bringing out something which is unnecessarily, political about it.
Fantastic.
Thank you. John.
Well, he's a senior in government before, and he knows. I agree with him to a point. Sometimes when you are in government, you may carry out certain expenditures. It's not like you have stolen the money into your pocket. Maybe receipts were not properly accounted for, certain files and documentary invoices that you were supposed to properly follow in terms of maybe advertisement, procurement processes were not dealt with. When the auditors come, they are not interested in whether you actually use the money for what you said you use it for. They are also interested in the processes for using the money. So sometimes we hear some of these huge announcements that 800 million cedis lost. If you are not careful, you will think that the people pocketed monies. But when you read further, you realize that, oh, maybe it was the accounting for the funding. And sometimes if you are the CEO, they will mention you. Or if you are the minister, they will mention you. But you are not the accounts officer, there's finance controller. You see, civil service get field day in this country. When this thing is brought out, the politicians begin to hang each other. And then those responsible who were supposed to do the proper trailing didn't do. And then we will be hanging each other. So, but that notwithstanding, if there are evidences that any individuals have been corrupt in the process, they have been fraudulent in the process, or they have personally gained from these arrangements, then of course, I'm all for it that Yoko and all the investigative bodies must pick it up. And we must begin to punish people when they steal from public coffers. But indeed, if you read the story, it's talking about procurement irregularities. That is different from misapplication. It's different from stealing the money. So let's also be clear in our mind on what we are publishing and what we are telling people.
Thank
Let's
you.
not impugn guilt yet. Sorry, really briefly.
I think he's made very wonderful points.
He made you proud.
I mean,
so really briefly,
this is how we should sometimes approach issues. Devoid of the politics about
now,
it.
really briefly, before you go, John, there are 2,000 people or young entrepreneurs to benefit from the 30 million Ghana cedis government training program. Is that something you want to touch on?
Yes,
really
that's
briefly?
my ministry, and that's one of my work. So I want to thank the Honorable Minister, Honorable
Yes, tell us exactly what's going on, really briefly.
Yes, there's a partnership between the Spanish government and government of Ghana to train entrepreneurs in this country. Already we have trained 7,000 under the NEIP, and we have supported 1,350 of them with financial support, ranging from 10,000 to 100,000 Ghana cedis, just over the 1 year.
Wow.
And now, and now we are
7,000.
doing more, 7,000. And we are doing more. And I mean, the Spanish government has seen what the Ministry of Business Development and the NEIP is doing in the ecosystem. And they have come to support not only them, a number of development partners have shown interest, because that's the most effective and sustainable way
so
of
the 30 million
jobs.
cedis is from the Spanish government?
Collaboration. Yes.
Collaboration. They are giving
will
us
help,
some finances.
With funding for training and also financial support for the entrepreneurs.
So it includes financial support.
Yes.
It's not just the 30
Not
million
just the
cedis going into training alone.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're indeed joined by John Kumah, is the CEO of the NEIP, that's the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Plan, and also Honorable Rashid Pelpuo is the Honorable Member of Parliament for Wa Central. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming.
Thank
you.
Up next.
Yes, up next, we're going to talk to a young lady, a brilliant young lady, who is, maybe this is someone you would like to meet, John, actually. She works with disabled women. She's helping them make a decent living so they don't beg on the streets by training them in bead making, right? So she's not only debunking the myths of the potential of disabled women, she's also creating an avenue for them to make a decent living. You don't want to miss this interview. We'll be right back.
Okay.